SpaceX 2025 Plan Overview. As of January 4, 2025, SpaceX has laid out an ambitious plan for the year aiming to significantly expand its launch capabilities and maintain its position as a leader in the aerospace industry. The company plans to execute up to 180 rocket launches throughout 2025, building on a record-breaking year in 2024 where it completed 138 launches primarily using its Falcon rocket family. Key achievements and progress in 2024. 1. Record launch cadence. In 2024, SpaceX launched a total of 138 missions, with 134 of these using its Falcon rockets. This remarkable achievement positions SpaceX as the most active launch operator globally, accounting for more than half of all rocket launches worldwide. 2. Reliability of Falcon rockets. The Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets demonstrated high reliability, achieving a successful recovery rate of their first-stage boosters. Despite facing 3 launch failures in the third quarter of 2024, SpaceX quickly addressed these issues, resulting in a rapid return to its launch schedule. 3. Starlink deployment. A significant portion of SpaceX's launches in 2024, 89 out of 134, were dedicated to the Starlink satellite constellation. The company successfully launched 1962 Starlink satellites during the year, continuing its efforts to expand global internet coverage. For human spaceflight programs, SpaceX made strides in its human spaceflight initiatives, including successful crew rotation missions to the International Space Station (ISS) with the Crew Dragon spacecraft. 5. Upcoming missions. Looking ahead, SpaceX plans to continue deploying Starlink satellites while also supporting various government and commercial missions, including lunar lander launches. 2025 launch plans. Ambitious launch goals. SpaceX is targeting 180 launches in 2025. This increase in launch frequency is partially supported by the addition of new launch pads and enhanced recovery capabilities for its Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. Falcon 9 launches. The Falcon 9 rocket is expected to carry out a significant number of missions, including customer payloads and further Starlink deployments. The first flight of the year occurred on January 3, 2025, launching the Thuraya 4 communications satellite. Starship operations. In addition to Falcon missions, SpaceX aims to conduct multiple launches using its Starship rocket, which is poised to play a crucial role in future missions, including lunar and Mars exploration. The company has plans to fly Starship up to 25 times in 2025. New missions and partnerships. Several customer missions are already scheduled, including launches for foreign governments and commercial entities. SpaceX is also looking to increase its collaboration with international partners for satellite deployments. Key milestones and events. January 3, 2025, SpaceX successfully launched the Thuraya 4 NGS satellite, marking its first launch of the year. This mission demonstrated the continued reliability of the Falcon 9 rocket and set a positive tone for the year ahead. Increased capacity. SpaceX is working on expanding its launch facilities, including a new launch pad at Vandenberg Space Force Base and further enhancements at Cape Canaveral. These expansions will facilitate the increased launch cadence. Technological advancements. The company is actively developing new technologies for its launch systems, including improved fairing recovery processes and more efficient booster turnaround times. Conclusion. SpaceX's plans for 2025 reflect its commitment to pushing the boundaries of space exploration and commercial satellite deployment. By building on its successes from 2024 and setting ambitious targets, SpaceX aims to strengthen its leadership position in the aerospace industry while continuing to innovate and expand its capabilities. The upcoming year promises to be a pivotal chapter in SpaceX's journey, with significant milestones anticipated in human spaceflight, satellite deployment, and interplanetary exploration. Counterintuitive information in SpaceX's 2025 plan. 1. High launch cadence despite failures. While SpaceX has set ambitious plans for 2025, including potentially 180 launches, it is noteworthy that in 2024, The company achieved a record number of launches, 138, despite suffering 3 significant launch failures. This raises an interesting point. A high launch cadence is not necessarily indicative of flawless operations. In fact, the ability to rapidly recover from failures may be a key contributor to their success, suggesting that resilience in the face of setbacks is as crucial as operational perfection. 2. Significant proportion of Starlink missions. A counterintuitive aspect of SpaceX's operational strategy is the overwhelming focus on its Starlink satellite constellation, which accounted for a substantial majority of their launches in 2024, 89 out of 134. This reliance on Starlink missions, while a lucrative revenue stream, could be seen as a risk. If the demand for Starlink services were to decline, it might leave SpaceX vulnerable. The strategy also implies that their commercial customer missions are secondary. Despite the increasing demand for satellite launches from various sectors. 3. Starship's incremental testing versus full operational deployment. The narrative around Starship often emphasizes its revolutionary potential for space travel and colonization. However, SpaceX has been adopting a cautious approach, focusing on incremental testing rather than an immediate full-scale operational rollout. This suggests that while the hype around Starship's capabilities is substantial, the actual implementation timeline may be longer than expected, which contrasts with public perceptions of its imminent arrival as a game-changing spacecraft. For environmental assessments impacting launch plans, SpaceX's plans for expanding its launch capabilities are subject to environmental assessments, which could delay the activation of new launch pads like SLC-6. This highlights a potential disconnect between SpaceX's ambitious growth plans and the regulatory realities they face, which could slow progress despite internal capabilities and readiness to launch more frequently. 5. Booster recovery efficiency. The impressive statistics around booster recovery and reuse, reducing turnaround times to as low as 13 days, might suggest that SpaceX has perfected this aspect of its operations. However, the fact that they still expend a significant number of boosters every year, 6 in 2024, reveals a balancing act between reuse and the need for new hardware, indicating limitations in the current recovery and refurbishment processes. 6. International collaborations and dependencies. SpaceX's growth is increasingly reliant on international collaborations, particularly with foreign governments and companies, for satellite launches. This reliance could be seen as a double-edged sword. While it diversifies their customer base and revenue streams, it also introduces dependencies that may complicate their operational independence. 7. Launch pad adaptations for different missions. The need to reconfigure launch pads for various missions, e.g. Falcon Heavy and crewed missions, suggests that while SpaceX is pushing for increased launch frequency, their current infrastructure may not be as streamlined as it appears. This could lead to potential bottlenecks in their operations, countering the perception of a seamless launch operation. 8. Market dynamics of satellite launches. SpaceX's focus on launching satellites for competitors such as Amazon's Kuiper constellation raises questions about market dynamics. It suggests that while they dominate the launch market, they are also contributing to a competitive landscape, which could lead to price wars or shifts in demand that may affect their profitability. 9. Public perception versus operational reality. There is a significant gap between public excitement over SpaceX's innovations and the operational realities that the company faces. For instance, while the media often focuses on the futuristic aspects of SpaceX's missions like Starship, the day-to-day operational challenges, such as regulatory hurdles and the logistics of managing a high volume of launches, are less frequently discussed. 10. Market size versus launch capacity. Finally, the ambitious target of 180 launches in 2025 might imply a much larger market for satellite launches than currently exists. This assumption could potentially lead to overcapacity issues if the demand does not meet SpaceX's projections, challenging the sustainability of their growth model. These counterintuitive insights reflect the complexities and nuances of SpaceX's plans for 2025, revealing that while the company is at the forefront of space exploration and commercialization, it must navigate a landscape filled with unpredictability and significant operational challenges. In the context of SpaceX's 2025 plans, Several key elements may not receive the attention they deserve despite their significant implications for the future of space exploration and commerce. While many reports focus on the sheer volume of launches and the technological advancements of rockets and satellites, there are subtler yet crucial components that warrant a closer examination. 1. Operational flexibility and turnaround time. One of the most understated achievements of SpaceX is its remarkable reduction in launchpad turnaround times. The company has consistently improved its efficiency, with some launchpads achieving turnaround times of less than 3 days. This operational flexibility is pivotal as it allows SpaceX to respond quickly to market demands, manage payload schedules more effectively, and accommodate unexpected changes in launch plans. This efficiency is not merely a logistical feat, it fundamentally reshapes how satellite operators and government agencies can plan their missions. The ability to launch frequently and on short notice enhances the responsiveness of satellite constellations, particularly for commercial applications like Starlink, which can quickly adjust based on user demand or geopolitical circumstances. 2. Integration of AI and advanced technologies. The implementation of advanced technologies such as AI in the operations of Space42, the company involved with the Thuraya 4 satellite, is a significant trend that may be overlooked. Space42's commitment to harnessing AI for its satellite services is an indicator of a broader shift in the industry towards smarter, more autonomous satellite operations. This trend could lead to significant improvements in data processing, satellite health monitoring, and operational efficiency. As AI technologies mature, we may see a future where satellites can autonomously adjust their orbits or service patterns based on real-time data, enhancing both commercial services and scientific observations. 3. Diversity of payloads and customers. While many reports highlight the volume of Starlink launches, the increasing diversity of payloads and customers could be considered a potential game changer for SpaceX. The fact that a significant portion of their launches is now dedicated to various customer missions, from government contracts to commercial enterprises, indicates a growing trust in SpaceX as a reliable launch provider. This diversification not only stabilizes SpaceX's revenue streams but also positions the company as a critical player in the global satellite market. The increasing utilization of Falcon 9 for diverse missions underscores a shift from being a niche player in launch services to a dominant force in the broader aerospace sector. 4. Regulatory and environmental adaptations. SpaceX's ongoing engagement with regulatory bodies for expanding launch operations and environmental assessments is another crucial aspect that may be overlooked. The implications of these regulatory efforts extend beyond mere compliance. They signify SpaceX's commitment to sustainable practices in an industry often criticized for its environmental impact. By proactively addressing these issues, SpaceX sets a precedent for how commercial space ventures can operate responsibly, potentially influencing future regulations and industry standards. 5. Strategic partnerships. The partnerships SpaceX forms, such as those with various international clients and government entities, are integral to its growth strategy. These collaborations not only enhance SpaceX's credibility but also expand its influence in the global space economy. The ability to secure contracts for missions like the Nova-C lunar lander for NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services (CLPS) program indicates a strategic alignment with governmental goals in lunar exploration. Such partnerships can lead to shared technology advancements and even new opportunities for innovation in the aerospace sector. 6. Long-term vision for Starship. Although much attention is paid to the operational capabilities of the Falcon rockets, the long-term vision for the Starship program is significant in its implications for human spaceflight and interplanetary exploration. SpaceX's ambitions to increase the cadence of Starship launches and its plans for lunar missions, including potential crewed flights, represent a pivotal shift in how humanity approaches deep space exploration. This focus on Starship as a multi-mission platform could redefine space travel by making it more accessible and economically viable, thus expanding the frontiers of human activity beyond Earth. 7. Potential for disruptive innovations. The innovations in satellite technology, such as the direct-to-cell capabilities of the Starlink satellites, represent a potential disruption in telecommunications. This technology allows satellites to connect directly to mobile devices, significantly enhancing connectivity in remote and underserved areas. The implications of this capacity can transform how people access information and services, potentially democratizing technology access on a global scale. In summary, while the statistics of launches and technological advancements are impressive, the subtler elements of SpaceX's strategy, operational flexibility, integration of AI, diversification of services, regulatory foresight, strategic partnerships, long-term vision for Starship, and disruptive innovations, are the threads that weave together the fabric of its future. Understanding these components not only sheds light on SpaceX's operational strategies but also illustrates the broader implications for the aerospace industry and space exploration as a whole. The SpaceX 2025 plan reflects the company's ambitious strategies and objectives as it aims to solidify its position as a leader in the aerospace industry. Here are 4 valuable points for in-depth analysis and discussion. 1. Launch cadence and capacity expansion. SpaceX's plan to increase its launch cadence to 180 missions in 2025 is a striking commitment to enhancing its operational capacity. In 2024, SpaceX launched 138 times, which already made it the most active launch operator globally, accounting for more than half of all launches worldwide. The targeted increase hinges on the addition of new launch pads, including the expected operationalization of Space Launch Complex 6 SLC-6 at Vandenberg Space Force Base, which could potentially double its launch capacity from that site. This expansion not only underscores SpaceX's commitment to meeting growing demand, particularly for satellite launches, but also addresses logistical complexities associated with rapid launch schedules. The reduced turnaround times for both launch pads and boosters further indicate that SpaceX is not just aiming for quantity but also efficiency and reliability in its operations. This point can be analyzed in terms of its implications for the commercial space launch market, competition with other launch providers, and the broader context of global satellite deployment trends. 2. Starlink expansion and technological advancements. SpaceX's ongoing deployment of Starlink satellites is a critical aspect of its 2025 strategy. In 2024 alone, SpaceX launched 1962 Starlink satellites, and this trend is expected to continue with the introduction of new satellite models that enhance capabilities such as the direct-to-cell DTC satellites. These advancements aim to provide direct mobile communication services, thereby expanding coverage and connectivity in underserved areas. The implications of Starlink's expansion go beyond mere connectivity. It raises discussions around regulatory challenges, global internet accessibility, and potential market disruptions in telecommunications. Analyzing the impact of Starlink on traditional internet service providers and the geopolitical implications of a private company controlling global internet infrastructure can offer insights into the future of communications technology. 3. Human spaceflight and lunar missions. SpaceX's plans for human spaceflight, particularly with its Dragon spacecraft and Starship, are poised to play a pivotal role in upcoming lunar missions. The expected increase in crewed missions, including those to the International Space Station ISS and future lunar landings, showcases SpaceX's commitment to expanding human presence in space. The integration of these missions within the Artemis program and the potential collaborations with NASA and other international space agencies can be explored in terms of technological advancements, safety measures, and the broader implications for human exploration of other celestial bodies. Discussion can also delve into how SpaceX's reusable rocket technology is reshaping the economics of space travel. 4. Starship development and future launches. The Starship program represents SpaceX's most ambitious project aimed at enabling interplanetary travel and large-scale space operations. By planning for up to 25 Starship launches in 2025, SpaceX is not only focusing on the next generation of launch vehicles but also setting the stage for potential Mars missions and beyond. Key milestones achieved in 2024, such as successful re-entry and landing tests, underline the viability of Starship as a fully reusable spacecraft. Analyzing the technological challenges, regulatory hurdles, and funding requirements associated with the Starship program can provide a comprehensive understanding of how SpaceX plans to lead the next era of space exploration. This analysis can also consider the broader implications of such advancements on global space policy and international cooperation in space missions. In conclusion, SpaceX's 2025 plan encapsulates a transformative vision for the future of space exploration and commercial launches. Each of these points provides a rich avenue for discussion, revealing the multifaceted impacts of SpaceX's strategies on technology policy and the global aerospace landscape. 1. NASA's Apollo program 1961–1972. The Apollo program was a series of missions undertaken by NASA with the goal of landing humans on the Moon and safely returning them to Earth. The most famous mission, Apollo 11, took place in July 1969 when astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first and second humans to walk on the lunar surface. The program included a total of 17 missions, with Apollo 17 being the last crewed mission to the Moon in December 1972. It was a pivotal moment in space exploration, demonstrating America's capabilities in space technology and exploration. 2. The Space Shuttle Program 1981–2011. NASA's Space Shuttle program was a revolutionary approach to reusable spacecraft that enabled a variety of missions, including satellite deployment, scientific research, and International Space Station construction. The program ran for 30 years with 135 missions, including the iconic launch of the Hubble Space Telescope and the assembly of the ISS. The Space Shuttle's ability to return experiments and astronauts safely to Earth paved the way for future space exploration and development. 3. The Mars Rover missions 2004–present. NASA's Mars Rover missions, including Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and Perseverance, have significantly advanced our understanding of the Martian environment and the potential for past life on the planet. Each rover has been equipped with advanced scientific instruments to analyze soil rocks and atmospheric conditions. The Perseverance rover, which landed in February 2021, is particularly notable for its mission to collect samples for future return to Earth and for its role in preparing for human exploration of Mars, similar to SpaceX's ambitions for crewed missions to Mars in the future. SpaceX 2025 Outlook, Predictions and Strategic Initiatives. As SpaceX moves into 2025, the company is poised to further solidify its position as a leader in the aerospace industry. Following a record-setting 2024 where the company completed 138 launches, including 134 with its Falcon rocket, SpaceX is strategically focusing on expanding its launch cadence, enhancing technological capabilities, and broadening its market reach. 1. Launch cadence and capacity expansion. SpaceX is targeting an ambitious goal of up to 180 launches in 2025. This increase will be facilitated by the addition of new launch platforms, possibly including the activation of Space Launch Complex 6 SLC-6 at Vandenberg Space Force Base. The company's strategy to reduce turnaround times has been remarkably successful, with the average time between Falcon 9 launches decreasing from 40 to 45 days in 2023 to just 25 to 30 days in 2024. Continued improvements in booster turnaround times and launch pad efficiency will be crucial for achieving the projected launch frequency. 2. Starlink and global connectivity. In 2025, Starlink is expected to dominate SpaceX's launch schedule once again. The company plans to deploy new Starlink V3 satellites, which are anticipated to significantly enhance network capacity. This year could see the customer base for Starlink double again, as it did in 2024, reaching around 9 million users, driven by the introduction of direct-to-cell capabilities that allow unmodified cell phones to connect directly to satellites. Additionally, SpaceX aims to expand its Starlink services into new markets, which will be critical in maintaining competitive advantages over other satellite internet providers. The anticipated launches include adding to the Starship constellation designed for government and military applications, which could further diversify SpaceX's revenue streams. 3. Human spaceflight and lunar missions. SpaceX continues to spearhead human spaceflight initiatives with multiple crew rotation missions planned for NASA and private ventures in 2025. Notably, the FRAM-2 mission will mark the first crewed flight into a polar orbit, highlighting SpaceX's evolving capabilities in crewed space exploration. The company is also gearing up for lunar missions, collaborating with multiple partners to deliver payloads to the moon. With Intuitive Machines and Astrobotic planning to launch their lunar landers on Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy, 2025 could see SpaceX playing a pivotal role in the next wave of lunar exploration. 4. Starship development and future launches. Starship, touted as the world's most powerful rocket, is expected to take center stage in 2025 as SpaceX aims for up to 25 launches of this vehicle. The company has made significant strides in demonstrating Starship's reusability and operational capacity, with plans for increased launch frequencies dependent on regulatory approvals. The new Star Factory facility in Texas will enhance production rates of Starship vehicles, allowing for a greater number of test flights and operational missions. The planned expansion of launch infrastructure at both Starbase and Cape Canaveral will also support these objectives. 5. Commercial partnerships and government contracts. SpaceX's commercial partnerships are set to expand in 2025, with a growing number of missions booked by both government and private sector clients. The U.S. Department of Defense has numerous launches scheduled, further cementing SpaceX's role as a key player in national security and defense. The anticipated missions for commercial customers include satellite deployments for major players like Amazon and Globalstar, which would not only enhance SpaceX's revenue but also reinforce its status as the launch provider of choice in the burgeoning satellite communications market. 6. Technological innovations. SpaceX is committed to ongoing technological innovation, which is evident in its upgrades to the Falcon 9 and Starship systems. The introduction of new fairing designs and booster upgrades will enhance payload capacity and reduce costs. Additionally, advancements in satellite technology such as the new Starlink V2 mini satellites will improve service efficiency and coverage, positioning SpaceX at the forefront of the satellite internet revolution. Conclusion. The outlook for SpaceX in 2025 is characterized by ambitious growth targets, continued innovation, and a commitment to enhancing global connectivity through its satellite services. As the company continues to expand its launch capabilities and explore new markets, it will likely maintain its leadership position in the aerospace sector. The successful execution of its planned projects will not only impact SpaceX but will also have far-reaching implications for the future of space exploration and commercial spaceflight.